Alrighty, guys. Good evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening so far, guys. Good. Yeah, as it turns out, playing killer is actually very stressful. So when you hear me say that I'm pretty sure that 3/5 of the players in this game have never touched killer, it's because they've never touched killer. And the reason for that is because if you've touched killer, you know what it's like playing killer, and it's pretty fucking different compared to playing survivor, especially when you start playing against harder and harder survivors. To the point at which it becomes very not fun or incredibly stressful, and only if you're actually capable of dealing with that stress or anxiety, both stress and anxiety, will it still be fun. Basically, it becomes incredibly competitive, and it's not necessarily because the game the game is competitive. It's not necessarily because it's balanced, but it's rather because of how serious people take the game. And on top of that, it's not just the amount of seriousness, but it's also something to do with the fact that you're playing against 4 people. You are against 4 people. It's not 4v4. This isn't Counter-Strike where you're playing an 8v no, it's 4v4. What the fuck's Counter-Strike? 5v5? 6v6? I don't even remember what Counter-Strike is anymore. 8v8. It's not like you're playing Counter-Strike with an even number of people. There's something to do with basically 4 people playing against you where they're just like hyper-focused on you, and it really fucks with you. It's not just like a 1v1 either. It's never a 1v1. In this game, despite what people might make you think, it's never a 1v1. You are always keenly aware of the fact that you're playing against 4 different people. At high MMR at least. When they're actually trying to win, you know it, and you have to deal with it. And so, like, it's weird too, because it fucks with your decision making. And that's like one of the really weird things about it, is that it fucks with your decision making process, where you try to make a decision and then your brain short circuits and you do stupid shit like you wouldn't normally do. I'm thinking of getting a pair of like translucent glasses too. I think I can do that. At this point, I forgot to put on my fantastic glasses last night. Yeah, it has something to do with the one before. I don't know, like, you know, I'm a tinfoil hat moment here, but I'm pretty sure that we're kind of like we're like a borderline like I think we're like a borderline like telepathic species is kind of what it feels like. And part of the anxiety problems that people are thinking, I don't think it's all internal. I don't think everything with anxiety is internal. I think some of this is basically projected onto you and you can feel it. I think we're like a borderline telepathic species, like kind of like, you know, like very, very rudimentary. It's not like we can talk to each other or anything using telepathy, but it feels like we're kind of on like the edge of just like discovering the fact that we can kind of influence people. And I don't think it would have ever been possible to figure this out without being online. Because when you're online, guys, when you are online, you have no communication with anyone else. Like there's no physical communication. There's no one standing in front of you. You don't hear their voice. You don't see them. You don't notice body language. You don't smell them. You don't, you know, inhale hormones or anything like that. They're literally they can be thousands of miles away from you, and it doesn't seem to matter all that much. This is kind of like a tinfoil hat moment where I'm like one of the reasons that I believe that this kind of happens, and I've had relationships online where you can very much kind of feel what the other person's feeling. It has nothing really to do with so much so that's sometimes unprompted. Not so much that it has anything to do with like talking to them, physically talking to them or being near them. And it's very weird. It is incredibly weird, and it's one of the things that I've talked about before people steal it from me and go on a limb on it. I've heard no one else talk about this before, but yeah, it very much feels like because of the way that you can communicate, you can weed out extraneous variables when you're communicating with people online. And it's like one of those I get like this weird sensation, like, it's not so much anymore, but back when I was a bigger streamer, I would have people, like, I could feel like people stewing in chat, like they just fucking sit there and just like be angry. It was fucking weird, and like, it's happened a couple times over the last couple years, like, borderline have someone that's like psychopathic in chat, just like sitting there like beaming me with hate. Fucking weird shit. That's since left, by the way, but I've had a couple notable points in my life where I felt that. And one was back when I first started streaming. I attracted the wrong type of people that were watching my stream. It's basically self-deprecating humor. And then it was attracting people that literally just wanted to shit-talk me. Another one happened during PlanetSide 2. And then also during H1Z1. Basically my biggest points. And those were the big ones. And they, like, sometimes they just sit in chat for, like, for like months. It's fucking weird. And since it's basically just disappeared. I mean, obviously some of it's just anxiety and internal, right? And that's something I try to weed out, is to make sure that I'm not just feeling this and I'm literally just getting inside my own head. But, yeah. And, last week, with that one person that just came into chat and kept shit-talking me, you're here for that. Like, she came into chat and was shit-talking me. It was first because of my gameplay. Then when she was shot down with that, it was then because I was a bad streamer. And then it was about my physical looks. And then it was about me gaming my stream, basically. And it was going through all four, and that didn't go away till I banned them. And then they just disappeared once again. And you can totally, it's something fucking weird. It's someone, you can totally tell when someone has a chip on their shoulder and they're like, they really have an axe to grind with you. And there's nothing you can do to change their mind. They just literally just want to make you feel bad. Kelly, there you go, yeah. They just want to make you feel bad. And there's absolutely nothing you can say to change their opinion. They are dead set on hurting you, and more than physically, because they can't. They've hurt you physically, but they want to hurt you emotionally, right? They want to make you feel like shit. And this goes double down with trolls online, is they try to change your, this is one of the things I like talking about, is people like changing your emotional state. They know they get you when they change your emotional state. So if you refuse to let them change your emotional state, it really pisses them off, because they're really trying really hard, and then they realize that, and they try even harder to do it. And one of the biggest things you can do about trolls is laugh at them. Is like literally not take them seriously and tell them to fuck off and laugh in their face. And they really hate that. That like grinds their ego the opposite direction. It's like borderline psychopathic behavior shit, which is funny because I'm playing a killer in a video game. I'm the bad guy, right? I'm the bad guy in this video game. And yet it doesn't seem that way. It seems like a lot of the survivors are just bad. It attracts the kind of people, like, power attracts people that want to abuse it, right? And in Dead by Daylight, the killer is not the most powerful person in the game. It's the survivors. Hands down, survivors have easy mode compared to the killer. And they know it, and they don't want you to talk about it. That's why for the longest time I've tunneled and camped and talked about it. Is because they'll try to convince you every which way from Sunday to do the opposite. The viewpoint on Twitch from people like playing killers now changed, where people are starting to tunnel and camp, right? But it took a year. I mean, I've been tunneling and camping in 4K for over a year at this point, right? Yeah, because we're in June, and I started playing killer in February 21. And it's gotten to the point where other streamers have started doing it, but I've done it first. Not necessarily camping and tunneling first, but I've done it best first. I've totally done it best first, and no one was openly doing it on Twitch when I was doing it. And it's only until the last couple months where it's become commonplace to see other streamers starting to do it. But once again, shit like that doesn't matter if no one watches your stream, right? No one's here to see me do it, therefore I don't do it, and then someone does it first. Just like where I say the good, you know, I do that. Yeah, and no other streamers are doing that, but yeah, I'm sure they didn't hear it anywhere. That's just something that is just magicked out of the nether. Same thing with the dibs. Yeah. Yeah, the dibs. Yeah. Also that one. And I do talk about stuff, guys, you have to toot your own horn, so I do talk about stuff that I tend to do first. That's why I made a tech list. I do talk about stuff I tend to do first, and if no one else is doing it, I'm going to keep talking about it, because that's the only way I'm going to gain recognition or people noticing me, is by talking about stuff I do better than everyone else, right? So here we are. Even if it seems conceited, that's just the way it is. But yeah. It is very much apparent that you can kind of feel when people are fucking with you in this game. This is probably one of the most stressful games I've ever played. I've played Overwatch, competitive Overwatch. I've played competitive Counter-Strike, not like an esports team, but ranked for extended periods of time. This is literally one of the most stressful and anxiety-driven games I've played. Not for Survivor, once again, but for Killer. This is way, way fucking up there. It wasn't as bad as it was like a couple months ago. Like 6 months ago. It was, actually, we're in June already. Like 9 months ago. It's a little bit different. You know where people like literally rage every single fucking match that is hook camping and tunneling? Now they don't really do that anymore. But they used to do it every fucking match. They just constantly rage. Constantly fucking rage about me hook camping and tunneling. Unfortunately, that created a lot of content for me, but now that they don't do it anymore, you know, it kind of loses some content. Well, that's just the way it goes. Yeah. What causes an internet outage? You could literally be asking me about what the source of life is, dude. There's a lot of things that can cause an internet outage. Your router, a line between you and your ISP, a router between you and your ISP, the terminal, a modem burned out, your computer exploded. And there's a lot of things that can cause an internet outage. I don't know what KSA is. I just always call them KSA. It's so fucking weird, and if you play Killer, you'll actually understand. There's a reason that the Twitch directory does not have killers in it, and it's not like the killers that exist there are either they generally don't take themselves seriously, and they're just there for entertainment, essentially not very good, or the other ones that like are ultra tryharder and very much minority, but then they'll do things to keep their MMR down. Like some of the big killers I can't even watch because they don't really seem to play against good survivors. Like Otts I can't watch. Dead, although Dead might have something else going on there, which I'm not going to talk about. But Dead also always seems to play against shitty survivors. Yeah, fucking weird stuff. And then some of the other streamers have started copying my style and things that I do, like Winter. I've noticed that. I watch him, and he's definitely started copying some of the things that I do. Not exactly sure what to make that, because I don't think he watched my stream. I'm not sure where he came up with that shit. There's all sorts of weird stuff he started doing. Like even my pull techniques, which he still doesn't actually completely understand, but I don't know. Interesting stuff. Okay, this is a country. Prime, I thought you're from US. You were literally talking about a US server. The truth comes out. The truth comes out! Oh yeah? I swear you said you're from, Eastern United States. We talked about servers. Yeah, keep things in English, too. From New York? There's the penis killer. I don't know why people call him a turkey. He literally looks like a penis. This is literally from a hentai. Like, if you split this mouth on top of his head, right here, which probably was his mouth originally, if you put his mouth on top of his head right here and put eyeballs there, it'll literally look like a penis monster from hentai. And then maybe take out the bones. Like, straight up. Yeah? You mean you hate to play against him? I've heard I've been watching people play him, and I thought he wasn't going to be very good. I said he's going to be good in low to mid MMR. But I was watching people play him, and it actually looks like he kind of works. But, I mean, I thought Plague worked at high MMR, and then I played her, and it doesn't work. The veiny penis, yes. I don't know. Nuclear's bad. His teleport's good. Yeah, I thought it was going to take a little bit, and then once people figure out how to play against him, it's going to change things. But haven't reached that point yet. I could get some more BP. I think we're going to do that. What was I spending BP on? I think I just dumped some into Nemesis. No, I dumped some into Legion. We got 1 pin. And well, I did Nemesis before Legion. Got 1 pin and like 4 black wards. They very much like ratcheted down his blood web for the add-ons you actually need to use to play him right. Yeah. So my guess is he works against basically mid MMRs when people start going in and playing the Swifts. But according to survivors, if you're a 2-man or 3-man, it's not a Swift. So he only works at high MMR. He only barely works with one very particular build, which is what I have right here. You can change Deadlock out for whatever you want, but everything else has to be this. And obviously your offering can be whatever you want, but you're going to run out of pins. And this basically allows you to challenge pallets. Oh, you can change out Spirit Fury too if you want, but it meshes so well with Enduring in this build, I don't know why you would. Deadlock is really the only perk that you can change. And even then, this build is required in order to get on par with Nemesis's base kit, like the way Nemesis actually is. Just by default. And basically just barely makes him B tier. So just barely competitive at high MMR. And then you run into a speed hacker that literally just goes from pallet to pallet to pallet, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. So let's go to the next pallet, pre-drop it, and wait for you to break it, and go to the next pallet, pre-drop it, wait for you to break it. Yeah, but the new killer, I'm pretty sure that once people get better at him, he's not going to be as good, which is why I said about mid-MMR. I don't think he's going to be a high MMR killer. It's just right now people are getting used to how he plays and the idea that locker spaces aren't safe. Particularly with the locker teleports. So when people get good, from what I've seen, when people get good against him, what they'll do is just wait for you to use your anti-loop ability. They'll leave a loop. And generally they'll pre-drop pallets. If they see you teleport to a locker, they'll just double back like with Nurse. Yeah. But once again, Oblivious, Undetectable, Blindness only work against pugs. They only work against people not on voice comms. If you're on voice comms, those 3 things don't really matter at all, because they'll immediately tell their friends where you are. So, you have to consider the voice comm aspect, which is stealth does not work in this game when people are on comms, which is one of the reasons I never run stealth. It's because it's pointless, basically. Works against normal survivors, does not work against high MMR survivors, especially Swifts, voice comm sweats. But yeah, I'm gonna wait on this. I might buy him if he's still good in a week from now. I'll probably consider buying him, but I'm not gonna buy him right now. As I mentioned, guys, last night, the last couple nights, we've ran into a lot of cheaters. What we're going to do tonight is I'm going to not... I have a theory about it. I'm not going to quick swap my build, and as such, I'm going to see if we can get... if I'm actually causing more cheaters to appear by quick swapping my build. It's not that they didn't exist, but rather they actually toggle and try harder when they see you quick swap your build. I'm actually giving them an excuse to cheat against me. So I think tonight we aren't going to quick swap builds at all. We're just going to play normally, essentially, and see how many cheaters I run into. I'm also probably going to try swapping my name at some point, maybe, and see what happens with that. We've name swapped quite a bit in the last couple days, and still running into cheaters. Ooh. Our Cordless power tool's really better. Oh man, we're going to watch Project Farm, guys. Can't wait. It's supposed to get up to 100 on Tuesday here. In Wisconsin. Should be good. This is the guy that lives in a ghost town and basically tries to market it. It's pretty interesting. Literally all his videos are geared towards making it a YouTube success. Still haven't seen Maverick, so we aren't going to take a look at that. Let's take a look at Project Farm, guys.
Are corded tools more powerful than the cordless ones? 25, 30 years ago, they probably were, but are they today? Well, let's find out. In the first test, we'll compare circular saws for cutting speed. Then we'll see which drill delivers the most torque. We'll see which reciprocating saw cuts the fastest. At a price of $170 for just the tool and not the battery and charger is this Makita brand. If you buy the kit, it comes with a blade, 2 batteries, a charger, as well as a carrying bag. Makita's electronic brushless motor delivers 6,000 RPM. The Makita uses 2 18-volt batteries for 36 volts total. The tool even includes dual battery level indicators. Die-cast magnesium base, blade guard, and blade cover provide lightweight, durable design. Positive bevel stops at 22
Normally the answer to this is yes.
56 degrees. Looking
Corded
through the
tools
space
are
just
better.
below the handle, you can see the blade depth indicator. The Makita saw is made in China. At a price of $99 is this corded Makita circular saw. 2 built-in LED lights. Includes ball bearing construction.
Trying to go for apples to apples, guys.
Delivers 5,800 RPM for proven performance and job site durability. The cordless Makita has bevel stops, but the corded saw does not. The blade guards on both saws seem equally well constructed. The Makita saw is made in China. The cordless circular saw weighs 10.55 pounds or 4.78 kilograms. The Makita corded circular saw weighs 11.56 pounds or 5,244 grams. So the cordless
Then there's
circular
always the
saw
problem
with the batteries is about a
batteries,
pound
just
less
having
than the
batteries
corded
available.
saw. Without a blade on the saw and fully charged batteries, the Makita topped out at 5,976 RPM. The no-load speed on the corded saw is about 200 RPM less at 5,766. Without a blade, the corded Makita is a little bit louder at 92.4 decibels compared to 92 for the cordless. A saw that can stop the blade quickly is a very nice capability in many instances. The corded saw needs 6.43 seconds to stop the blade compared to only 0.75 seconds for the cordless. I'll be using a 7 1/4 inch Diablo framing blade to test the saws. Let's kick off our first test using this tester I put together. The sides as well as the bottom of the tester are lined with roller ball bearings. I'll be using 2x4s that are 12 inches in length. The bearings are doing a great job of allowing the 2x4 to move back and forth freely. I'll attach a 5-pound weight to the test piece using a string which will pull the 2x4 under the saw. With 5 pounds of pressure, the Makita is definitely losing a little bit of blade speed. And the cordless Makita provided very consistent results on all 3 cuts. With 5 amp batteries, the Makita averaged 1.82 seconds to rip through the 12-inch 2x4. And the corded saw delivered very consistent cutting speeds at 1.71 seconds on average for all 3 passes. So the corded saw is 1/10 of 1 second faster than the cordless. Let's add 2.5 pounds for a total of 7.5 pounds. With 7.5 pounds
gears
of
up
pressure,
amps,
the Makita
guys.
ripped through the 2x4 in 1.16 seconds. And the corded saw is 1/10 of a second slower than the cordless saw this time at 1.26 seconds. Let's see if the saws can handle 10 pounds of pressure without stalling. And the Makita has plenty of power to handle 10 pounds. 0.9 seconds, very impressive. And the corded saw is 1/10 of a second faster this time at 0.8 seconds. So the corded saw is the winner in the price category at less than half the cost. On the other hand, the cordless saw wins for weight, noise, and blade stop speed. So both saws cut very close to the same speed at 5, 7.5, and 10 pounds of pressure. At a price of $160 for
endurance
just the
is,
tool
though.
and not the battery and
I don't know
charger,
if he's
is
gonna
this
look at
Dewalt
endurance.
brand. 800 maximum watts out. No load speed, 9,000 RPM. It includes a kick brake as well as an E-clutch. Brushless motor for increased durability and efficiency. Dewalt also has a paddle-style trigger. An Allen wrench is used to change out accessories. The Dewalt is made in China. At a price of $92 is this corded Dewalt angle grinder. Low-profile gear case allows for access in tight spaces. 11 amp, 11,000 RPM motor designed for faster material removal. The quick change wheel release allows tool-free wheel removal. The Dewalt claims it makes 1.8 horsepower. The cordless Dewalt uses a paddle-style trigger and the corded has a switch on the side of the tool. The tool is made in India and the accessories are made in China. With the massive FlexVolt battery, the Dewalt weighs 6.8 pounds or just over 3 kilograms. The corded angle grinder is over a pound lighter at 5.3 pounds or 2.38 kilograms. With the FlexVolt battery, the Dewalt makes 7,462 RPM. The corded angle grinder is a lot faster at 10,156 RPM. For an angle grinder, the cordless Dewalt is relatively quiet at 87.7 decibels. The corded angle grinder is over 10 decibels louder at 97.9 decibels. For safety reasons, I usually don't let go of an angle grinder until the wheel comes to a stop. And the corded angle grinder needs just over 5 seconds to stop the wheel. And the cordless grinder is very fast at only 1.31 seconds.
Safety reasons.
And the cordless angle grinder vibrates around 90 millimeters per second squared. And the corded grinder has a
That's a
battery
huge
that
battery.
shakes at around 260. Let's compare the cutting speed next using this tester I put together. Every Everything moves nice and smoothly, and I'll level the tools before the testing begins. I've already done quite a bit of testing, and 5 pounds of pressure seems like the perfect amount for cutting through half-inch rebar. The bracket holding the rebar is extremely secure, preventing movement to avoid interfering with the test results. I'll be using a 4.5-inch Dewalt cutoff wheel. With a fully charged FlexBolt battery, the Dewalt grinder made very quick work of the rebar at 7.91 seconds. The corded angle grinder spins over 2,500 RPM faster than the cordless. And the corded grinder made the cut about 2.5 seconds faster at 5.42 seconds. Let's kick off our next test to see which angle grinder delivers the most torque. I'll be using a 1/4-inch grinding wheels, and I'll use a new wheel with each grinder. Let's start off with 10 pounds. And the Dewalt makes plenty of torque to handle 10 pounds of force. So let's go for 15 pounds. And the Dewalt battery grinder has more than enough torque for 15 pounds of force. I just installed a new piece of rebar, so let's see how long it takes to grind through the rebar. And the Dewalt has plenty of power for 20 pounds of force, and with the FlexBolt battery, 21.86 seconds to grind through the rebar. And the corded Dewalt has more than enough torque to handle 15 pounds of force. I just installed a new piece of rebar, so let's see how long it takes to grind through the rebar. And the corded grinder made the cut in only 7 seconds compared to nearly 22 seconds for the battery-powered grinder. So the corded grinder wins for the lowest price and cutting speed. However, the cordless grinder is a much more refined tool. It makes less noise, the blade stops faster, and it vibrates quite a bit less. However, with the battery included, the grinder cost around $450. At a price of $200 is this Dewalt cordless hammer drill. No load RPM 0 to 450 in first, 0 to 1300 in second, and 0 to 2000 in third. The Dewalt includes a brushless motor. Up to 42% more power with the FlexBolt battery. The LED light has 2 different brightness
That's a really expensive
the
battery.
The drill is made in China. At a price of $99 is this Dewalt half-inch.
Pretty sure it's more expensive than a tool.
Up to 3,000 RPM. Includes an 8.5 amp-hour motor. Tools and accessories are made in Mexico. The battery drill has a keyless chuck, and the corded drill requires a key. The battery-powered drill also has a couple of other features, including a clutch and an LED light. And the corded drill is pretty light at 4.8 pounds or 2.2 kilograms. With the heavy FlexBolt battery, the Dewalt is about 2.5 pounds heavier at 7.3 pounds or 3.3 kilograms. The battery drill is pretty loud at 89.4 decibels. The corded drill is even louder at 91.2 decibels. And the cordless Dewalt is just over 2,000 RPM rating in third gear. The slowest the Dewalt would spin without stalling is 22 RPM. The corded drill spins a lot faster at 3,060, but it doesn't offer very good low RPM control at 241. Let's see which drill can drive in 3 of these 5-inch lag bolts the fastest. And the battery-powered drill is very fast at 1.66 seconds on the first 2 screws and 1.71 seconds on the third screw. So 1.68 seconds on average. And the fast-spinning corded drill lost a lot of RPM on the lag bolts. And the corded drill is a little bit slower than the cordless at 1.87 seconds on average. Let's use this torque adapter to see which drill makes the most torque. 175 inch-pounds for the corded drill. In third gear, the Dewalt made 152 inch-pounds. Let's see how the battery-powered drill performs in first gear. And the lower gear is making a huge difference. And the cordless drill almost drove in the 12-inch lag bolt the entire way at 502 inch-pounds. Very impressive. So the corded drill wins on price at only $99, and it doesn't weigh as much compared to the cordless drill with the heavy FlexBolt battery. However, the cordless drill is just a much more refined tool with an LED light, 3-speed gearbox, it's a little bit less noisy, and it has a keyless chuck and a clutch. It also drove in the lag bolts faster and makes more than 3 times as much torque. Definitely a clear win for the cordless drill. Let's do a price point comparison comparing a $200 cordless against a $200 corded saw. At a price of around $200 is this Milwaukee M18 Fuel. Cuts faster than corded. We're going to test that. The stroke length on the Milwaukee is 1 1/8 inches. The Milwaukee has a brushless motor. Adjustable shoe length. The Milwaukee saw is made in China. To test the reciprocating saw, I'll be using this M18 red lithium high output 12 amp hour battery. At around the same price as the cordless saw is this corded super sawzall. The stroke length on the cordless saw is 1 1/8 inches, and the stroke length on the corded is 1 1/4 inches. Made in USA with global materials. The super sawzall has 2 modes, orbital and inline. Quick Lock blade clamp system provides fast and easy blade changes. The cordless tool weighs 10.85 pounds or 4.922 kilograms. The corded reciprocating saw weighs 9.855 pounds or 4.47 kilograms. So the corded tool weighs about a pound less than the cordless. And it takes 1.36 seconds for the blade to come to a stop on the corded saw. And the cordless saw has much better brakes at 0.2 seconds. And the cordless saw is pretty loud at 92.5 decibels. The corded saw is a lot louder at 99.3 decibels. To test the reciprocating saws, I'll be using these Lennox Demolition Fire and Rescue blades. Let's test cutting speed by cutting through pressure-treated 4x4s with 4 embedded 16-penny nails beginning with 10 pounds of weight. Let's see how fast the corded saw cuts in inline mode. And the corded saw made very quick work at 6.79 seconds. Switching to the orbital mode. And the corded saw is about a second faster at 5.82 seconds in orbital mode. Orbital mode is faster, so let's see if the saw can cut even faster with 15 pounds of weight. And the corded saw is a little faster at 5.21 seconds, but that's less than a second faster. Let's try 20. Wood chip removal seems to be a problem at 20 pounds, and the saw is a little bit slower at 5.77 seconds. The battery in the cordless saw is fully charged. And the heavier cordless saw is actually cutting quite a bit slower. The shorter stroke length is really hurting the cutting speed, 19.82 seconds. Let's test with 15 pounds.
Wow. What the fuck? That just seems like a shitty Sawzall.
And the extra weight helped a little, but 17.74 seconds isn't nearly as fast as the corded saw. Let's try 20.
Like turning the wood chips or turning into powder,
And the battery
which
powered
isn't a
saw
good
is
thing.
about the same speed with 20 pounds, 17.44 seconds. A price point comparison shows that dollar for dollar, the corded saw is a lot faster. I've owned this 12-amp Milwaukee corded saw for about 5 years. Just like the cordless saw, this one has the same stroke length. I'm just going to start at 20 pounds to see how it performs.
What the fuck?
And the corded saw is just a little bit faster than the battery saw at 16.22 seconds, so very close to the same speed. Comparing the $200 saws, the corded saw cuts a lot faster and weighs a little bit less. The battery saw makes a little bit less noise and has a superior blade stop speed. At a price of $99 for just the tool and not the battery and charger is this Rigid brand.
It honestly just seems like they aren't engineering corded tools as well. It shouldn't even be a thing.
In a variety of applications. The Rigid is made in
I
China.
mean,
At a price
the
of
higher margins there are in
the
cordless tools, right? So that could be part of it.
Powerful motor delivers
Like, there's more incentive for them to develop better tools that are cordless because they're worth more.
Micro texture for added user comfort.
And they make them more money. Batteries are a
The Rigid
huge
brand
thing.
is made in Vietnam. The cordless oscillating multi-tool weighs 3.765 pounds or 1.7 kilograms. The corded multi-tool weighs 3.39 pounds or 1.53 kilograms. So the corded oscillating multi-tool is just a little bit lighter than the cordless. The cordless tool makes a lot less noise at 78.3 decibels compared to 85.6 for the corded tool. The cordless tool vibrates a lot less at 6 millimeters per second squared compared to 35 for the corded tool. The Imperial blades we'll be using have carbide teeth and are designed to cut through wooden screws. Let's compare performance cutting through half-inch OSB with 5 pounds of force. And the cordless tool with the high output 4 amp hour battery made the plunge cut in 15.2 seconds. Let's add 2.5 pounds of weight to see if that helps.
It's kind of weird. You'd assume more weight would be better, but it's not always better.
And the extra 2.5 pounds really helped quite a bit, 10.2 seconds, moving up to 10 pounds. And the extra weight actually hurt the performance of the tool, 15.1 seconds. So 7.5 pounds seems like the right amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And the corded multi-tool isn't nearly as fast as the cordless. 20.8 seconds to make the cut with 5 pounds of pressure. At 7.5 pounds, the extra force helped the corded tool make the cut quite a bit faster, 14.4 seconds. And 10 pounds of pressure helped the corded tool perform even better, 12.2 seconds. Cutting through nails is less about torque and more about blade speed.
Work.
With 5 pounds of force, the cordless tool needed 34.8 seconds to cut through 4 16-penny nails. And the cordless tool isn't quite as fast as a corded multi-tool. And a corded tool cut through the 4 nails in 29.7 seconds. Without including the cost of the battery, the cordless tool is less expensive, makes less noise, and vibrates less. On the other hand, the corded tool weighs a little bit less. Cutting speed seems to be pretty close depending on the type of material that's being cut. So the big takeaways for me are the cordless tools typically cost more. They aren't as noisy, they vibrate less, and it takes less time for the tool to come to a stop. As far as work efficiency, corded tools with 10 amp motors or larger like the circular saw, angle grinder, and both corded reciprocating saws are just as fast or faster than battery tools. Without having a 3-speed transmission, the corded drill just couldn't compete with the battery drill. I really don't mind having tools tethered to a power cord when I'm working inside the shop. However, if it's just a small project or something away from the shop, I really like cordless power tools. They've come a long ways as far as efficiency and performance. All the videos in this channel are viewer suggested, so if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care and look forward to next time.
The big problem, however, is endurance. How long they last before they run out of juice, right? And when you put you're using a lot of amps, so like when you're grinding hard on something, you're grinding into it, it sucks up a lot of juice, guys. And when it sucks up a lot of juice, you run out of juice fast, whereas corded tools obviously never run out of juice. Which I guess would make sense if you're on a job site, right? If you're actually working for a construction company where you're going to be using tools all day. Might not be a big deal if you're doing a DIY thing, so something where you're just, periodically using a tool, right? But at the same time, like, as you mentioned, having a tool that you can actually move around is actually really nice too. Which is like cordless drills are such a big deal. Very interesting. Yeah. Manufacturers put more effort into improving cordless tools than the old technology one. Yeah. Usefulness? And it does happen. Well, you might think, oh, there's no way that they'd be able to use the tools for so long that they'd actually overheat. That's not true at all. Especially something like a cordless saw. Not a reciprocating saw, but a normal... Well, even reciprocating saws, too. Depending on what you're cutting apart. But like a radial saw. So you guys saw with the blade on the side and the guard like this, right? Like this guy. Those guys can, if you cut a bunch of lumber, it's going to get really hot. And batteries have problems with overheating. By the way, crypto pooped itself again, or specifically Bitcoin pooped it. Well, all the cryptos, I assume, pooped themselves. Ethereum got hit really hard. But Bitcoin is also showing itself right now. Lost like 10%, 20%. It's down to 25,000 from 3,000 or 30,000. Like 15% in a day. It's a lot. So basically confidence was lost at 30,000 and now it's teetering down at 25. It's probably going to dead cat here and it's probably going to go down a little bit further. Maybe sit a bit at like 22 or something. Bitcoin's really pooping itself right now. Liqueurs? Cordless. You never covered endurance at all, guys. For shame! Okay. Love Project Farms videos, guys. All is unique in different ways that they test, test out different tools are actually pretty cool. He does a relatively good job of that, too. Aww. Do you like Drain Addict? Not for everyone, though. People don't like watching, storm sewers get unplugged. or plumbing. If you looked at the hardware unbox video yesterday, it's relatively good on details, but I think this covers the same shit. Kind of weird that hardware unbox, or excuse me, Gamer Nexus took 2 days to cover it. Watch all trailers revealed at the Microsoft Bethesda event. Link? Yeah, oh yes, the optical connection. Guide. I'm kind of curious about this. I'm gonna go wash my coffee cup out, guys. I will be right back. 1 second. Take a look at one more. I do like the B1M.
There's a storm brewing down under, an Australian rivalry that's captured millions and costing billions. And no, we're not talking about Kylie and Danny Minogue. Right now, Hobart and Melbourne are locked in a battle for supremacy, one that's ignited an unprecedented construction blitz, is reshaping cities, and fundamentally upending entire economies. Like all good stories, this one's about hubris, revenge, sex, death, and really big buildings. Welcome to the $4 billion museum war.
Good.
Now, if you're not Australian, you're probably wondering where on earth Hobart actually is.
Where's Hobart?
It's on that bit of Australia that's so often sadly lopped off world maps. It shouldn't be. Tasmania is an island of wonders, the Tasmanian Devil, Hannah Gadsby, and Mona, the Museum of Old and New Art, the largest privately funded museum in the Southern Hemisphere. It's been described as a subversive adult Disneyland, and its exhibits range from the serene to the truly surreal.
We've got from everything, from paintings to toothbrush to porcelain.
We're not only looking at works, but some works, or many works, look at us.
Boy, oh boy, has Mona made the mark.
The museum's garnered a cultural cachet that's lured in millions of visitors, and tourism is now the biggest industry in the state, a fact largely attributed to the Mona effect. So many visitors were coming from China that Qantas and Jetstar added more flights just to keep up.
I think it can be said without a shadow of a doubt that Mona has played an important role in the nearly 50% increase in the number of visitors coming to Tasmania since
A big role.
It's thought that Mona and its offshoots have helped to add more than $2.3 billion a year to the state's economy. The whole thing is the pet project of millionaire David Walsh, the so-called Willy Wonka of Tasmania. He wanted to create something extraordinary for his home state after making his fortune developing a gambling system that turns over billions of dollars every year.
Arguably, I'm a complete waste of space, so it would be remiss not to do something, and yet it's arguable that this something was a huge long shot.
To preserve historic houses on the site, the team at Fender Katsoulidis designed most of the museum to be underground. The experience of entering Mona is described as similar to the ancient city of Petra. It's carved into the Triassic sandstone cliffs of the Berriedale Peninsula and extends some 12 metres below the ground. Visitors descend a series of zigzagging, overlapping staircases into a space with no windows. The idea was to create an atmosphere of danger and foreboding that's appropriate for a museum whose self-described themes are sex and death. Once you're in, the exhibits are, well, pretty out there. Perhaps the most famous was Wimdell Voice Machine, which replicates the human digestive system and turns food into feces that's excreted daily. That's right, you pay them to go and see it. Now, this could have been the end of the story. An eccentric millionaire builds an avant-garde museum and saves his home state from economic ruin. Only it isn't. Enter Melbourne. You might not have heard of Hobart, but you should have heard of this place. A city of nearly 5 million people that's on track to be Australia's largest.
Billionaire stuff, guys.
It's frequently ranked as the world's most livable city and has been featured maybe a few too many times on this channel. It's got skyscrapers, the Olympic Games, world-class restaurants, and
I should visit Melbourne.
The country's
I haven't been to Australia yet. Maybe I should do that.
until recently, that is.
Victorian business owners face an uncertain future with
Basically just another United States or maybe a crappy version of
Governments are
UK.
throwing enormous amounts of money at the problem.
But there are still major concerns this won't be the end of critical worker shortages.
The pandemic wreaked havoc on many economies, but Melbourne was hit especially hard. The city had one of the world's longest lockdowns, affecting every industry, but having a particularly devastating impact on arts and tourism. Hobart's been steadily but surely taking from Melbourne's cultural status, and Melbourne's been unable to do anything about it. But restrictions have now lifted, and the stakes are high. Melbourne has announced the NGV Contemporary, otherwise known as the Fox, a $1.7 billion project that'll rival London's Tate Modern for size. Described as a once-in-a-generation cultural landmark, the new museum will feature more than 13,000 square metres of dedicated exhibition space, more than double that of Mona, and it's set to become the country's largest gallery dedicated to contemporary art. Designed by Angelo Candelipus and Associates,
After
the enormous new
after
museum
going to the
will
Art
add
Museum
Melbourne's
in
arts
Chicago, the
places.
Art Institute in
An
Chicago,
area of the city now being radically
definitely a
transformed to
fan
choose
of art
several
museums. I
billion
wasn't
dollars.
originally.
New elevated
You know, art's
public
kind of very
gardens
subjective,
are
but it's
being
kind of like one of the cool things
South
about it.
Bank Boulevard is turning away cars and
It was just the way that different stuff, different exhibits just elicit different feelings out of you just by going there and looking at them. Very cool. Explored an absolutely tiny part of the museum too, because we didn't expect to be there for more than a couple hours. You could spend days in there.
It's been called the largest cultural infrastructure project in Australia's history, and once it's complete, it'll be home to one of the highest concentrations of arts, cultural and creative organisations anywhere in the world. The transformation isn't happening somewhere on the outskirts of Melbourne either. It's all being built right smack in the middle of one of Australia's biggest cities. Mona, by contrast, is accessed by ferry and sits on the edge of Hobart. But Hobart isn't giving up without a fight. With Melbourne going big, there are now plans to add an enormous cantilevered hotel over Mona. The $400 million development will include a sprawling 3-storey library,
Motown?
theatre, spa, and an outdoor concert stage. There have also been long gestating plans to upgrade the waterfront surrounding Mona. That $2 billion project could take more than 30 years, but it would transform the former industrial site into another landmark for the city, complete with a brand new Aboriginal history centre. Enormous amounts of cash are being splashed everywhere you look. Kylie would be spinning around just to keep up with it all, and Danny, well, we don't really know her songs. Both Mona and the Melbourne Arts Precinct are transforming their respective cities for the better, and for all the time that the battle to be Australia's cultural capital rages, it's the public that's really winning.
As it turns out, you can go to both of them.
And you want to get more from the
Just throwing that out there, guys. You can go to both museums.
Make sure you're subscribed.
You can just go to both museums. It doesn't matter that much. Yeah. As it turns out, you just go to both. Good stuff. Wikipedia with Matt Farrell. Don't care. Fuck off, Matt Farrell. Anything else I want to take a look at? I kind of want to take a look at this video, but that's 20 minutes. I don't know if I want to do that tonight. We haven't watched any urban exploring videos in a while. It's true. We looked at the framework as a dumb idea. Not a completely upgradable laptop. Kind of pointless. Why 95% of Australia is empty? Because it's desert. Not only does everything in Australia try to kill you, in the center of it's basically a giant desert. If you guys didn't know that. Yeah. Wrong about hydrogen cars. Oh yeah? Oh. No, That's no. Nope. What if? We don't watch what if videos. What if your mom sat on my D? What if? What if, guys? What would happen? I'd become your dad. What if, chat? Let's see. I kind of want to take a look at this. This is an hour and 15 minutes, so I don't know if I want to watch this. I don't even know if it's worth watching. Microsoft Bethesda Xbox event. Let's see. Best of Microsoft Bethesda. Best Xbox, still 42 minutes. We'll take a quick peek here, guys. I might fast forward this shit. There's like no new games I'm interested in, so unfortunately. Games have kind of went the way of the dodo in terms of interest and intrigue. Everyone's playing the trolley or whatever it's called right now. As the Star Wars? It's been a while since they released a Fallout or I take that back. There's Fallout Online, isn't there? Skyrim or Fallout, a Morrowind. There we go. Heard of Starfield? Is that it?
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you've waited a long time to finally see Starfield. It's easily our most ambitious game ever. Like our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
improved version of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky with something in it. Nothing in the sky. I heard No Man's Sky is completely different now. I watched some people play it, and it actually looks just very similar to what it was. It's like Star Citizen, and it really lacks core objective and vision. Like where they're going. They just kind of made something because it sounded really like a good idea, and then never actually made anything out of what they made. They just made something because they could. Yeah. This is using the No Man's Sky engine. I did say that was a good thing back when I played No Man's Sky. I was like, shit, if they ever actually make a game inside of the game, it's going to be really good.
It would appear that pirates of the Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
Russians? This music literally reminds me of SimCity. I miss SimCity, guys. They did a disservice to the gaming industry by killing Maxis. Maxis is the company that made SimCity. Nothing quite like it. That'd be like killing off Firaxis that makes Civilization, and there'd just never be a Civ game again. Of course, you can go play Cities, but Cities basically largely just like cannibalized and played off of SimCity. And then Cities basically just disappeared after SimCity did. So this is basically the Fallout engine with elements from No Man's Sky in it.
After some initial encounters, you're invited to join Constellation, who, in the future the game is set in, are the last group of space explorers. To meet them, you'll head to the capital city of New Atlantis.
Doesn't look like there's much in the way of story here. I guess that was the way of Fallout, though?
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to
Like, Fallout had a bit of story in it, but it's mainly about exploration.
We're all here because
World building.
we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. As to what they are, what they're building, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
Facial exploit.
The artifact.
Those facial animations, guys. Holy shit.
Scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course, the Settled Systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet! Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC Steph. Together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous, but we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story. It's the story you create by who you are and the choices you make. And that's
the Fallout Sky, No Man's Fallout.
It's our most flexible yet.
Oh,
You
jeez.
can customize all the elements.
But can
of
you
how
pick your
look.
penis size? Can you pick the size of your penis? That's what's really going to matter here. Cyberpunk gave us the size of our penis. It wasn't really much of a change, but apparently they think all penises are the same size, so.
Here you spend some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages.
Good stuff.
But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best.
What about your penis? Can you pick the size of your penis?
Unlock new skills
Please.
as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with resources you find to crafting weapon mods needed to survive.
Yeah, feels like they took Fallout and just meshed it with No Man's Sky. Which might not even be that bad. It's probably going to be pretty good.
You can build your own outposts. These act as a home away from home for survival and resource generation. You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running.
SimCity, or not SimCity, Sims. The Sims, guys.
You can even build your own spaceships.
Like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
You can choose crew members. And yes, you can completely customize the look and layout.
So there's a couple games that allow you to build spaceships in them, and one of the things that I'm not interested in is when they make it, this looks pretty modular, is when they make it too nuanced, where you literally do everything, but if you have a bunch of modules you can throw together, that's pretty good. I like that. Like where you have modular design, but not like completely like control over everything, because it's overbearing in my opinion, and it takes away some of the fun. You spend so much time fucking with shit that you just like don't do the rest of the game. Interested, guys? This looks like Fallout in space. No Man's Fallout. Fallout Sky. Bethesda generally makes relatively good games. Even if they aren't super amazing, they're still worth playing. It's been a while. Take my money, yeah. No Man's Fallout, Fallout Sky. I'm pretty interested in a new Fallout game. Fallout genre kind of went to laid it to fallow after Fallout Online. So I'll do that. Put a couple 100 hours into it.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game.
I'll do it.
Thanks again.
Like I said, I haven't been really looking forward to any games. There hasn't really been anything that piqued my interest. This doesn't look like something that's like evolutionary or something like that, but it's combining basically Star Citizen, but basically No Man's Sky with Fallout, and then puts them together, which is good because both those things have good things going for them.
Just how big is this game? So we thought
60
we'd take one
gigabytes.
last moment and show you.
Is this the No Man's Sky thing?
One of our planet's Jemison.
Can't beat that though.
You can land into Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet.
Anywhere,
It's
anywhere?
not just this planet.
Anywhere,
It's
anywhere?
all the planets in the system.
Anywhere, anywhere. But you do it, there's nothing in it. I actually really wonder if they use the No Man's Sky engine.
And not just this system, but over 100 systems.
Like,
Over 1,000 planets. All open.
yeah, I wonder if they partnered with No Man's Sky, or whatever the developers are for No Man's Sky.
See what you find.
Not to say that Bethesda doesn't have competent developers, but I mean, if you're licensing someone else's engine and their tech, like, it saves you a bunch of time, right? And this reminds me an awful lot, like when you're starting to look at the beginning opening trailer, it reminded me a lot of No Man's Sky. In terms of how you explore and the kind of interactions with the environment. And even though this is all here, by the way, that doesn't mean you're actually going to want to go here, so. You can see the stuttering, by the way, if you're looking for it. No Man's Field. Star Sky. Cool. As long as the single-player games with Bethesda are special when they work, yeah. From what I understand, the online Fallout isn't actually bad anymore either. They improved that quite a bit compared to launch. Launch stigma sticks around for a long time, though, when it's not good. The Mortal Kombat or something dumb.
I found you.
I found you!
Bearer of the eternal elixir field.
Not super interested. The animations look janky too. Fighting games, eh. Reminds me it's like probably gonna be like a Dark Souls game. Was this Ghost of Tsushima thing? Okay. Someone's interested in that. Not me, though.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Motorsport, don't care. Forza Motorsport gameplay overview, don't care.
I'm Dan Greenwald.
Hollow Knight. Does this game already come out? Oh, is this a new version of it? Ah, was the big announcement trailer of the Bethesda Starfield? Diablo 4. Arc 2. Overwatch 2. Persona. Redfall. Looks like another big name. I don't know what Redfall is, though. Some of these are worth watching, some of these we're going to skip. Is this a new Diablo 4 cinematic, or is it the old one?
I speak now to those who heed a darker call.
Oh, this isn't,
Those bold enough to cross the line.
This isn't CGI, this is in-game engine.
Deeper knowledge.
Blizzard does this thing where you could, like...
Unquenchable yearning. Born of blood and bone.
Blizzard does a thing where basically they use different levels of cinematics. There's 3 different levels of Blizzard cinematics. You have the CGI stuff, which is like your trailers and stuff like that, like the top-notch stuff. Then you have in-game rendered stuff, which is basically what this is. Like, you could get, like, Tier 1, Tier 2 is in-game rendered stuff. And then Tier 3 is, like, portraits, animated portraits and stuff like that at the bottom here. And obviously, different levels take different amounts of animation skill to do, and obviously different amounts of money. And this looks like it's like a level 2, like, in-engine rendered, not CGI.
Secrets and foulest black rituals, calling forth life from death.
Which is still pretty good, but it's not like actual CGI.
This power, you must take it into the world. You will be shunned, scorned, marked as a living sacrifice to this profane knowledge.
The Diablo 4 trailer, by the way, was absolutely fantastic. That's up there with one of the best trailers that Blizzard's made.
You will be a priest of Rathma, a necromancer. And you will not confront the darkness alone. We are the speakers of the dead, and the dead have no mercy.
Probably not going to play it, but still cool. Yeah. It's Rise.
Diablo 4 is the next generation of action RPG, melding monster slaying and loot collecting with a fully realized open world.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Oh.
It's gory and unnerving. It's creepy.
Diablo 4 is all about player choice.
It takes all of the pillars of a Diablo game and just expands them with all of the new features that people really love and appreciate in modern games. Whoever you see yourself being, you can create in Diablo 4.
It's important to include robust character customization because then I can play the fantasy that I want to play. It allows you to switch around your playstyle as well.
Kind of have to have character customization nowadays.
Everything feels very
get
powerful
canceled.
and fun.
One of the really cool things about having an open world is your journey that you take throughout Diablo 4 is your own. There's no linear path that you have to follow.
We've got almost 150
That's new, isn't it?
dungeons in the game.
There's all kinds of surprises as you're exploring.
Diablo 3 is still linear.
Strongholds are an enemy territory and you need to reclaim it.
You might have a space that begins as a hostile area, but after you've cleared it out,
The evil in this place has been cleansed.
World building
becomes a friendly town.
Ah, maybe.
Sometimes it's a new town, sometimes it's a new dungeon. There's a whole bunch of rewards that you get.
In terms of dungeon crawlers, guys, it's not really on the same vein as Diablo, but Hades. As far, I mean, it's a roguelike game, right? So it's not quite like Diablo, but in terms of how you kind of are presented with combat, Hades, very, very cool. It's very difficult to beat the ability for you to change and kind of differentiate your world when you're playing that game. Very difficult. So, like, I'd actually actively, even though it's not the same game, I'd put it kind of in the same vein as Diablo, where they're trying to tell a story, right? And obviously, you can compare this to loot grind aspect to something like PoE. But when you're talking about actually like story-driven elements and dungeon crawling, Hades does it really, really well. And I guess if it even has like a small amount of that, it might even be worth playing. But most of the time, they don't. Most of the time, Diablo games are literally just like loot crawling, right? You're just looking for better loot, which then it competes against PoE.
On the world as a result.
No, you can't leave us here. They might come back any moment.
Local events are really cool little story segments that happen within
Hades,
the
by the way, guys, if you've never played it, it's well worth the money.
Local event will pop up.
I'm not into roguelike games, and it was fantastic playing through multiple times.
Get a group together and just wail
because it's a
on
roguelike,
these,
you have to play through it
world
multiple times.
bosses.
Each time you did it, you can do different and weird things, and it felt like it's almost like a new game.
And you really have to work together.
Online.
Being able to see
This
all
is
the
online.
players on your screen, collaborating,
Oh,
trying to take this.
I might not be.
monster
If they're
down.
trying to
It's
turn it
epic.
into an MMO, I might not be as interested in it. So they put dungeons in.
It's so easy to create a community. It makes Diablo more of a social experience.
Oh.
We've got fully enabled crossplay.
So the new
If you
gimmick
have an Xbox and
is
your buddy has a PC,
dungeons.
You're gonna be able to group up.
Or you could play couch co-op. Two people on a couch can sit there and have a great experience.
We've created specific zones where players can engage in PvP.
If you go there, you can start swinging away at people. But you're also opening yourself up to being swung at.
If you're like really, really good, the game actually marks you as like a champion on the map. You basically become a loot pinata, and everyone wants to chase you down.
The last story mission is really the beginning of a whole different part of the journey.
Now you're set up for the end game, and that end game is rich with things to do that allow you to get more and more powerful.
Whether
This
it's
is the
new
loot
items
grind.
or new dungeons or new Paragon boards, every single time you come back to play Diablo 4, there's going to be new stuff for you to experience.
And it's something that we're going to support for years to come.
I'm really excited for folks to get their hands on Diablo 4.
Just to see millions of people really enjoying the different options.
Through the campaign,
local events,
couch co-op,
endgame,
PvP, it almost doesn't end.
And we are so close.
The new gimmick is
Sorry, Amicia. For
online
Hugo.
play.
He's not dead yet.
The macula's not just in Hugo's blood. It concerns everybody. And it can change everything. No.
Rotten flesh. Remember, no more killing soldiers. No more killing us.
Getting Witcher vibes.
Look out! There's a killer around here. One of our men has been murdered.
Assassin's Creed, maybe?
You're only making it worse!
Amicia, don't! I'm tired of being afraid. I'll show them that it's over.
Finally!
See? They're nothing! Nothing to be scared of! No! You are not them. What is wrong with me? Hugo. Amicia! Come on. Do it. Quick.
Where?
My dad tells stories of a terrible war that happened across the sky.
Arc
Heroes
2.
fought and died to give us a chance to start over.
I thought Arc 2 was Atlas.
All that I know from their Earth are the creatures they sent along with us. And here on Arat, every day is a fight to survive.
Lots of people still play this game, by the way. Arc. Not represented on Twitch, though.
But if anyone can tame this new world, we can.
There's some weird games that just don't translate to Twitch at all. Like, people don't enjoy watching them because there's just a lot of grind or just downtime. We're not really looking at much. MMOs being one of them, by the way. Even though World of Warcraft has been in the directory for fucking ever, it's a game generally no one wants to watch unless they watch, like, a lifer play. Like Tali or something. Like, literally just wastes away.
Which one's your favorite? Mine's Tracer. She's like, she is not, the cavalry's here.
That's racist. You can't use a British accent. Or nationalist.
You know there's more out.
Just love the cavalry is here.
Even the best journeys end.
One of the worst fucking atrocities in video game history, guys, is what they did to Overwatch. And what did they do to Overwatch? They stopped developing content for Overwatch and they made Overwatch 2. And all Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1 with a co-op aspect added on top of that. And they just basically took all the content that they would have added to Overwatch over the years and saved it for Overwatch 2. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking because they didn't make a brand new game. They're just basically taking Overwatch and just like kind of rotating the dial a little bit on it, which they could have done to the live game. Because video games, especially long-lasting ones, are basically a service nowadays, which I call video game development 2.0 long before they call them service. One of the first companies to do that is League of Legends, where they took a game and instead of having something that's short-lived and maybe gets a couple DLCs, they turn it into something that's a living, breathing world and constantly make new content for it. Not only do they make new content, they go back and they redo old content. They'll go back and redo old heroes with not only balancing passes, but also changing the look of the characters and how they operate. Just completely changing even though League of Legends is basically just it's a map, right? For the most part, it's just literally Summoner's Rift for the most part, although there's been different maps that League of Legends has. It's just Summoner's Rift. It's not even an MMO, but the game itself continues to change to the point at which now they've even added spin-off games to it, like Team Fortress or Teamfight Tactics, and there's a fucking TV series, which was actually really good, Arcane. Yeah, it's like probably one of the hallmarks of a really good video game development company is literally Riot. And it's not just them anymore. There's a lot of companies, even non-MMO companies, have started doing this because they can still make money off of DLCs and still can support their company and their development team. Overwatch, for whatever fucking reason, Overwatch decided that they were going to stop Blizzard, Overwatch, whatever the Blizzard internal company is called, for Overwatch, decided that they're going to stop making content for Overwatch and then save it for Overwatch 2. And it literally killed their fucking community. It killed their community. It killed the hype for the game. Even though Overwatch 2 is out and got a big spotlight on Twitch for the, like the amount of people watching it, because people are still interested in it, they literally just like strangled their player base. It's horrible. I don't know why you'd ever... I even mentioned this back when I quit Overwatch, because I played Overwatch for a year and a half on Twitch. Like, I streamed it competitively. And at the end of that, like, I pointed out that why the fuck would they ever do this? It made no sense that they're literally going to stop. Overwatch 2 was announced actually after that point, but it made no fucking sense why they would ever save content for Overwatch 2 and then just stop content. Like, they had 2 or 3 years where they just didn't release anything for Overwatch? Crazy. Like, they're doing balancing stuff, but they're no new heroes, no new maps. What were they thinking? Why would you ever do that? You could literally you could literally sell the Overwatch 2 expansion pack on top of Overwatch 1 while still releasing content for Overwatch 1. You know, a co-op expansion pack for Overwatch, and they didn't. It was, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I think they thought that they're so grand that people would wait and play their game forever, regardless of the fact that they stop making content for it. Just like hubris, pure hubris. And
But a new one
really ruined the reception of Overwatch 2.
I am your queen! Let's take him to the wasteland!
One punch is all I need.
Never heard of that hero, by the way. You want the axe?
Nice work, team. Keep it moving.
I cannot wait to push. Draw.
Agree. Oh, Cassidy. Okay. Apparently you're a horrible person, by the way, if you call him McCree. You guys didn't know that.
It takes a team to tango.
Not a big fan of how they ruined kind of their hybrid heroes. Who's the shield lady? Shield lady being one of the big ones because she was a hybrid hero. I don't remember her name. But Symmetra. Not a big fan of Persona, so I don't really care about this. Symmetra. Torbjorn. Basically heroes that have like a weird, unique playstyle. They just gutted them. Now they aren't really what they used to be anymore. Cool soundtrack, anime weebs unite. I'm a big fan of anime, but not into Persona. Redfall gameplay. Was this Bethesda? Bethesda.
Rumor has it something's off at the church. Blood in the baptismal font, and pastor's gone missing. And my genius plan was to investigate it alone. Of course. Don't stress, Layla. Oh, shit.
You know what we haven't seen a version of in a long time is BioShock. There hasn't been a BioShock game in forever.
Seen the movement in the dark. I've seen the shadow. I see you.
Oh, Lord!
I'll bite out your heart.
Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Oh, shit, there's more!
So vampires?
Jacob! Oh, thank God.
Come on, let's find the others and beat feet.
Multiplayer? That looks like a player. Sound? Hello? It's like the torchlight doesn't sway. Yeah, there's some weird animation things going on there. Looks like GameSpot has some Oh, there we go.
These aren't just trashy movie vampires. These monsters blocked out the sun and pushed back all the water. Totally cut us off from the outside world. Gotta admit though, if I have to be stuck on an island full of vampires, I'm glad it's with y'all.
Feelings mutual, I guess.
Aw, thanks, Jacob. We've also got Remy, our engineer genius, and her little robot buddy.
We saw a trailer for this a while ago.
And our resident expert on all things creepy.
I prefer the term cryptozoologist, but to each their own.
Last but not least, yours truly. I have these weird powers.
We've been digging for answers, but haven't found much beyond blood and death. Luckily, the vampires and their sycophants aren't discreet about where they like to nest. I'd bet the answers we need are inside those tourist traps turned fortresses.
Spotted some bloodsuckers in their fan club near the festival grounds. Let's start there. Ghosting out.
I believe at the time I said this is a lot like what's the zombie game?
On my mark. Oh shit, blood bag! They know we're here. Look alive.
This one is mine.
Going up.
A new one came out. No. Dying Light.
My cryptid hunter's intuition
Yeah, Dying Light.
nest nearby.
You're what?
Dev, that's not a thing.
Found something.
Oh, now I simply must go in there.
What is that? Where does it go?
Some kind of collective consciousness. That's impossible.
There's the movie theater. I used to come here all the time. Why'd they have to mess this up for me? Ah, shit.
It's alive. It'll collapse any second.
Run!
And sound's gone again. This isn't the video, by the way. This isn't actually my channel. Or the other one. What's the other one? Not Destiny. It's like Destiny. The second version of it came out and is actually kind of meh. Had almost no reception on Twitch. Shit. Evil Dead died. 900 total viewers now. Good. Called that one. Even before it happened. Not that it was a horrible game, but had a lot of balancing issues, and they didn't have really a game plan for it. So it was easy to get saturated with it. Where are you? I know you're in here. Actually, no, it's on my Ubisoft. Ubisoft games. The Division. There it is. Oh, The Division. Feels like The Division or Dying Light. And with vampires, essentially. I'd say Division. If you know the style of gameplay The Division has, where you kind of have like an open environment. Kind of like GTA, but not really. There's more crafting associated with it, right? Crafting and RPG elements. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Anyways, those are the best trailers, so obviously the one that's... Starfield I'm interested in. This one, I think I might play Starfield. It looks like Fallout. It looks like Fallout and No Man's Sky. I think I'm interested in playing that. But that being said, I'm not really interested in... The whole reason we're watching this is because there aren't really any games I'm super interested in right now. For the most part. It's been a while since I've been interested in a new game. I think the... What was the last game I was interested in? Battlefield 2042, and that was terrible. So. Oh, we played Riftbreaker last year. That was alright. been a while, guys. That doesn't really count. Riftbreaker, good game, but easy to get saturated on that, and eventually you play it out, and then it runs into scaling issues at high difficulty. Fly Games makes some pretty fantastic games. If you guys are curious, Oxy, still planning on going back to Oxy at some point and do single-player playthrough. It's been a while. I think Riftbreaker is their last single-player game. We'll chill over in the single-player game for a week or two. Never played it. I installed Super People and I never played it. H1Z1. Oh no. This wasn't supposed to turn into a let's play, let's look at video game stream, but here we are in the let's play video game stream. Let's look at video game stream. What time is it? Oh, jeez. Since when do people watch Steam games? Steam streams. They never used to watch Steam streams. What is this? What the fuck? No way. Steam streams always used to be empty. Unfortunately, I can't stream it because because I stream to Twitch and I'm partnered. I can't stream to any other platform. Since when, guys? Level 1 accounts. What? Is Running Man? This.
One NOED in my blood webs. It was the first blood web, and it was NOED 1, and I skipped it for a
Rebroadcasting someone else's stream. What's even going on here, guys? Go away. I clicked you away. Go away. I clicked the X. Go away. Why aren't... Oh my god. New browser window I can't get rid of. Why isn't it closing? I don't know. So it's someone streaming on Twitch and on... Can't do, by the way. Not partnered? There's a lot of people watching on Steam. Not partnered? There's a lot of people watching. Offline on Twitch. By the way, you can stream to other platforms, but not to Twitch at the same time. Could say it's not you and it's someone rebroadcasting it. I don't know. Twitch can literally ban you for anything. Like, you don't even need a reason. They can just ban you. Like, it's in your partnership contract. They can just cancel you and just ban you. Like, even like someone that has like one of the most amount of money and well funded, which was Ice Poseidon, got banned by Twitch, and he didn't even. I think he even won, but he didn't get reinstated on Twitch. Like, he sued Twitch for canceling his contract, just banning him. Well, most big streamers are, so that's one of the reasons they're big streamers, is because they do shit like that. That's one of the reasons. I mean, that's why I was considering getting a pair of translucent glasses, is because it's literally like, it's just a game of just like generating PR bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, no one seems to care about integrity or what kind of a person you are for the most part. It's just about you just generating hype and just doing things to get attention for yourself. There's a lot of streamers that are basically PR disasters on Twitch, though. Not just him. What the fuck is even going on here, guys? I thought about being a VR streamer, guys. I've considered it. It seemed to like having a VR model. I've also considered turning off my webcam. There's some people that have actually started doing that. It's become more common. Wear cat ear headphones. Maybe cat ears. I'm not gonna wear shitty headphones, though. I'll wear cat ears, but not shitty headphones. Chivalry 2 honestly looked like a fun game. It didn't really have any place on Twitch. There's a lot of games that are fun that just don't take off on Twitch at all. It was kind of big on Twitch for a little bit. VR models scare me? Yeah. I think that's part of what people find enjoyable about it, though, is essentially, like, they don't really look lifelike. Some of them do. But, like, they're missing animations and shit, and they just look kind of clunky. So maybe it's an anxiety thing. We talked about this before, like, where chat enjoys being called, "Hey, chat, how's it going, chat? You doing good, chat?" It's like a prompt for people that just don't talk much, and it doesn't look like you're directly, addressing them, so then they feel less angsty. It's kind of unfortunate, but... Like, I actually used to call chat all the time, like, years ago, and then I stopped doing it because it felt a little too impersonal. Kind of like a cop-out. Clonk, clonk, clonk. Looks like there isn't a trample in the game. You can't just run down people? Yeah. They killed the horse. I wonder what this is about. Like, why are they streaming here instead of Twitch? There's obviously almost zero interaction. It's one thing if you streamed like YouTube gaming or something, you know, or Facebook gaming, where there's actually people watching, but it makes me wonder what's going on here. There's 5,600 people watching. It makes me wonder if this is just on the store page. So probably what's going on here is the company that makes this, Torn Banner, is paying her to stream essentially the game for their channel. And then whenever anyone looks at the store page, then it pops up here. Also, how the fuck do you get rid of the mini player? Go away, mini player. I don't... Oh my god. Yeah. So. VR model, and I think there are actually some people that have already done that. Where they actually have a VR model and they just put them in a tub of water or something. Yeah. I'm actually very certain I've seen that in the hot tub streaming directory. Do that for Dead by Daylight, though. I don't think anyone in the community has done that in Dead by Daylight. There's that, guys. Go away, little window. God. Yeah, so it looks like she got a deal to play to stream for their Steam page. Oh, she's actually not doing that bad. Watching right now. So it's generating some interest. Having live content on your Steam page for a game is actually a really good idea. It's not the first time I've seen live content on here. I just didn't know this. This looks like a deal where she got sponsored. I don't actually know how to get rid of this player, though. Okay. One of the reasons Steam actually still sucks, despite it making shitloads of money, is stuff like this. Go away. Like, it looks like it wants to, and then it's like, no. 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 Unbelievable. There we go. Gone now. So do I want to play an hour's worth of Dead by Daylight? Well, maybe 2 hours, hour and a half worth of Dead by Daylight. Kinda, sorta. I didn't plan on watching the Bethesda thing. Okay. Need a new game? What? What though? I think the only other game, like, putting aside single player games, I think the only other game I'd actually be interested in playing right now, for a prolonged period, is probably Apex. Go back to Apex. But that kid, just like Dead by Daylight's like its own unique community, and that like it doesn't really extend to any other game. And I'm not really bored of playing Dead by Daylight. Cycle Frontier is like EFT, only in space or something. Watched a couple people play that. And it basically comes down to Battle Royale games. Quarry's a horror game. This is going to be on Twitch for maybe a week, and then it's going to be gone. MOBAs. There's DVD. So there's a new expansion for Chivalry 2. And the viewership drops off almost immediately. You don't realize it, but there's actually only a handful of games you're capable of streaming on Twitch. And it depends on how many people are watching your stream. Yeah. Fallout New Vegas. Why is this here? And VR chat. I thought about being a VR chat guy. And Rolfgator is still here. Yeah, literally just makes drama. Talks to e-girls and e-boys. Whole shtick. Furries, lots of furries, good. I love to see me on VR chat. It's like invite only. Like you have to be part of the. You have to basically get into his club that he's in, and in order to do that, basically you have to essentially be either a known member of the community or be a big streamer, which I'm neither. I'd have a better chance in GTA RP. Yeah, like there's, if you look at the, it seems like there's a lot of games on Twitch, but there isn't. Like a lot of these categories aren't even categories. This isn't, this isn't, this is all RP. This isn't. This isn't. Nope, nope. And weed out all the games that are just not something you'd ever play. If there's MOBAs here, not interested in a Street Fighter game. Fighting game, I guess. Basically comes down to Battle Royales, Dead by Daylight, and MOBAs. And then there's CS and CS clones like Valorant, and then there's CSGO. And there's one of the MOBAs that still exists. Once again, you can't be a MOBA streamer unless you're literally a lifer. Excalibur, be a ASMR streamer. Oh, one of the rare guy streamers that kisses his and licks his. Oh my God, they're all doing the ear licking now. This is one of the reasons that you guys might see Amaranth here and think I like jerk off to her. One of the reasons I occasionally watch Amaranth is because she continually pushes the limits of like softcore porn on Twitch. Yeah. Apparently she has 2 now. Like stuff that she does, literally everyone else copies. Yeah, like everyone's doing this now. Yeah, like you think I do this because I jerk off to her. She's actually like a pioneer of softcore porn on Twitch. Not even joking. You might think I am, but I'm not. Good for her. If she knows how to get fucking money out of people, no one watching this category is going to watch me. So, almost no one. I'm not competing with her. Like, look at that. That's fucking crazy. If you guys didn't notice, there's very similar things between all of these people on here. One is they seem to be very attractive. The other is they have a boatload of cleavage. Oh, is that the rare? Is that the rare not attractive female? Oh my God! Affirmative action for you guys. Or she's cute in some other way. 24/7 outdoor cooking videos by Fire Kitchen. Oh, this is probably a YouTube channel just restreaming their content on Twitch. Interesting idea. Lots of e-girls here. VR streamers. Actually, kind of curious about ASMR massage. Is it like where you can hear the popping and shit? I don't think they originally had like a ear microphone. I don't know what these are. Like they originally repurposed a microphone from something else, and then they got like these earlobes they put on them. Yeah? Get comfy.
I'm catering to neckbeards, but he's in charge. Does that make him a neckbeard too?
You literally can hear like the her tongue inside of the microphone.
I speak Korean, English, and Japanese.
Yeah, you like hear all the. Hey guys, how am I doing with ASMR? Can you hear all the movement in my mouth? I'm getting frothy right now just by talking. Uh-huh. I wonder if they actually use like auto-tune for that in order to get that down just right. Like there's certain frequencies that do that. But anyways, yeah, you see Amaranth here and you think like, oh my god, I'd just go jerk off to her, but no, she's like straight up a pioneer of this, the softcore porn on Twitch. Straight up. Always trying to push shit too. Like, hot tub streams are literally because of her, so. Good shit. I'm always curious to just go in there and see what kind of stupid shit she's doing just to get people to throw money at her. Beats pole... Oh, I think she was pole dancing, right? I was going to say it beats pole dancing or being a stripper, but apparently she is, so. When your tongue get irritated by doing that 8 hours a day, I think they do something to... So I think it's... You obviously have some, like watery noises in your mouth right to begin with. I think they do something to highlight that. You know how people on Twitch use an equalizer, for instance, to make their voice sound different? They actually equalize different parts of their voice to actually accentuate those noises in their mouth. And then maybe they even have microphones in their mouth. I'm not exactly sure. Like, it eventually gets to the point where you have, like, a microphone inside of your mouth so you can hear all the juicy noises. I don't know. But would you do it for 8 hours a day if you got paid big money? Someone with a lisp would probably be pretty good at that. They numb it? Numb their tongue? Yeah, like, I was accentuating that myself, but I think there's something they actually do with, like, software to make it sound more like that. Because you can look at different parts of, like, a vocal curve and then accentuate it. But yeah, you tell me to play a different game. Like, there are limited options on Twitch. This is what I'm stuck with. And Dead by Daylight is probably one of the most interesting of all these options. If I wasn't playing Dead by Daylight, I might play Apex. But other than that, I'm not interested in sports games. FIFA pack opening. Okay. This is gambling. Teamfight Tactics, eh. This is RP. Slots is gambling. MOBAs, this is a limited run game on Twitch, meaning it's going to only be here for like a week. Lost Ark is still something interesting. Actually has a decent distribution. Eh. There's a lot of VR tubers in here. Well, 2. I mentioned this before, back when the mute craze was a big deal on Twitch, is that if you wanted to get big at a certain point, you just have a VR tube model and you just don't talk. You just use a text or voice-to-text translator. And then they can't hear your voice and they assume you're just a chick and throw money at you. Uh-huh. Minecraft. I actually played Minecraft for a bit. I did that for like a week. I went and played one of the hardest mods for it, which is like Blood and Bones at the time. And I remember I just got shit on constantly because you need to have like innate knowledge of what's going on in the game in order to actually play it well. And I didn't. Looks like majority of the viewership's in... I don't know why it has so many viewers. top 2 channels, which also don't have that many people in them. Minecraft is basically, if you want to put Minecraft into a specific genre in Twitch, Minecraft streamers, and what they do is basically the equivalent of Survivor streamers in Dead by Daylight, where they just basically fuck around and just talk to their chat constantly. Gambling in disguise, classic, yeah. People like gambling. Teamfight Tactics is addictive. Yeah, I thought about going back. I was watching Josh play it the other day. I thought about going back and playing it, but I don't think there's much in... Like, it's one of those games where people just want to watch the best players, kind of like Counter-Strike and Valorant, and they don't care if you play it. Play hardcore where if you die, your world gets deleted. That sounds fun. That sounds absolutely fun. You got it. But yeah, you tell me to play a different game. There's only so many options I have for games. And Minecraft's probably a better option than playing World of Warcraft. But this is another thing, like these worlds that these guys are probably living in have thousands upon thousands, and unlike Dead by Daylight, where people say they play thousands of hours as survivors and it increases their run speed by 1% per 1,000 hours, if you guys didn't know. Unlike that, it actually, the effort they put into their worlds actually shows, because they're huge and expansive, because it literally goes on forever. This is one of the reasons I really wish you could stream to other platforms. Just so you get the full girthiness of the internet. I really do. Hot MLFs in your area. What is an MLF, chat? Chat, what is an MLF? I need to take a piss. I don't know what an MLF is. I can get a water. So, while I would consider playing a different game, there's only so many options on Twitch. It's just the way that it works. And I think one of the other options I'd play is Apex, is what I'd play right now. Like Fortnite no build. There's actually kind of weird when I play Fortnite no build. There's so many different people that hopped into my channel. I haven't seen them forever, which once again just shows you that Dead by Daylight's not everyone's cup of tea, right? But Apex, when I played Fortnite, no build in Fortnite really kind of sucks for multiple different reasons. I think I'd be playing Apex if I switched. But I'd probably Teamfight Tactics. I think this appeals to a very small group of individuals. I mean, there's a lot of people watching these channels, but I think this only appeals to a small group of individuals. It's like Clash of Clans sort of people. And I think I might even be good at it. Like one of the reasons I played Teamfight Tactics when it first came out And one of the reasons I stopped playing it was because basically there was essentially just kind of like a gamed way of playing it at the time, where there's only like one way of building. Which obviously it's changed quite a bit since then. But I'm not a fan of games that don't have options in them, like different ways of doing different things. And heavily RNG based back then. Are these just like League of Legends streamers that play TFT? The viewership drops off heavily. A lot. It like goes from thousands of people watching to a couple hundred people watching, and then goes from a couple hundred people, and then it drops to 50. And down to nothing. What? Like, is this just a TFT streamer? He literally looks like he's on meth. He just plays TFT. 8 hours a day. Actually not, 7 hours a day-ish. Apparently his thing is he always gets to rank 1, whatever that is in the game. Chess. Chess would take too much time to learn. Chess is a game in and of itself, but I don't think I'd want to take time to learn that. Well, I know how to play chess. I wouldn't want to take time to get good in it. Sometimes games have too much depth. This is a Valorant player. Sometimes games have too much depth to the point at which they aren't accessible and applicable. Like, people can't like come and watch you and then be good. Guy that plays TFT and occasionally plays Valorant. This is a TFT streamer. Actually, like, going through the Twitch directory, guys, is actually pretty depressing. It makes you realize how few options there are in your ability to stream as a career. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but like, unless you have a differentiated viewer base that is willing to watch you literally play everything like some of these guys do, like CDN, Sim, CDN, Fairlight. There's a group of them that go around. Grimm's, Anthony, which, by the way, are all people that started streaming when I started. Well, they started streaming after me, but I remember them popping into the H1Z1 directory, who then became successful, and they can play literally any game, and people watch them play any game. But for most people, you can't do that. He does. I said the same things. I'm pretty sure he just hates streaming. That's why he just kind of goes from game to game, which I guess if you can keep yourself enjoying life, then, yeah. He literally just plays something until he gets tired of it. I mean, someone's doing that now, too. But it makes you money. I mean, there's worse things to do than streaming, right? So, at the end of the day, if you're still enjoying streaming, then I guess that's still a win. There's a lot worse things you could be doing with your life than streaming if you're making money doing it. But yeah, there's a handful of gamers that just hop around to different games. Fairlight being one of them, and people will still like watch and play literally anything. A lot of these guys on the list here are DVD streamers. And once again, the DVD directory is unforgiving, meaning there's people that only want to watch DVD. It's like PlanetSide 2. There's people that only want to watch DVD, and when you switch games to a different game, especially if it's not translatable, they won't watch you. And that's why people in the DVD directory have pushed, like, VHS, they pushed, what was it, Prop Hunt? They pushed Prop Hunt really hard, and they talk about it all the time, is because they're little Evil Dead, because they literally want to play anything other than the game that they always have to play, but they can't, because they're basically relegated to playing Dead by Daylight. Yeah, unfortunate truth, this category is very, very unique in and of itself, and you can't really get outside of it. Do I have English selected all the time? Where did I even select it from? Did I just do something? Uh-oh. How the fuck do I get that back? Like a language preference. Oh no. Did I change the Twitch directory? I just did something I shouldn't have. We were just watching where there's a bunch of people who look like they're missing. Minecraft. Yeah, there we go. Spanish, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, English, Korean, Portuguese, Russian. But Team Fortress 2 like that, or Teamfight Tactics like that too? Yeah. Maybe I need to become a hot e-girl, guys. That's the way it needs to be. I need to be an e-girl. English. Gonna be there forever now? I hope that's there forever. There we go. Do I have that? Do I have an English tag in my directory? Uh-oh. Like, if you see me, do you see that I'm English? Is that a tag I'm supposed to have that I never added to my profile? Where's podcasts? This is somewhere. So, one of the reasons I'm in the podcast directory instead of the Just Chatting directory is because Just Chatting is essentially just people like IRL exploring and shit. Jesus Christ. This is not dating, by the way. I've watched some of her streams. Like, when people say speed dating, they aren't actually dating. They're just looking for content. You basically feed them content in the form of trying to hit on her in lingerie. Yeah, this is all IRL shit. I thought Just Traveling had its own IRL directory. Talk shows and podcasts. Oh. Oh my god, look, I'm almost on the top. Oh my god, I'm amazing, guys. Uh-huh. InfoWars. Maybe I should be on the Just Chatting. There's literally no one here. Yeah, maybe I should start streaming. I used to stream the Just Chatting directory and I changed that. I do have English in my thing. Okay. I don't know. I think you don't set this under tags. You set this somewhere else. Yeah. Anyways, when you say just going back to the same thing, when you say just stream something else, there is limited options for me as a streamer if I want to actually encourage new growth in my channel. There are limited options of stuff that I can do. And if we want to go back to a first-person shooter in the form of a battle royale, it'd probably be Apex. I think the only other option I see here is Teamfight Tactics. That being said, I'm also pretty good at MOBAs now. Because I played a shitload of HOTS, I'm relatively good at them, but HOTS doesn't have the inventory system of League of Legends. One of the things I actually hated about of League of Legends was the normal game, basically, the Summoner Rift. Like, I really enjoyed playing Aram back when I played it. But like the base game, I fucking hate CS. I fucking hate farming so fucking much. Oh fuck, that's so mind dead, is farming, and Here's the Storm completely gets rid of farming. One of the things I really like about it is it just completely removes farming from the game. I got both of them in battery at the same time. VTuber, animation. Asian. I was looking for a white tag. For some reason, guys, there isn't a white tag. White. Yeah, for some reason I can't tag myself as white. Caucasian? No. You're Anglo-Saxon. Nope. I'm not included, so just so you guys know. Huh, there isn't an African American tag either, or black. Am I typing the right things here? Is this even working? Let's see, anime. No, maybe this isn't working. I gotta refresh my page. Yeah, Aram's a lot of fun. So if you, one of the reasons that I still play HOTS and I really fucking enjoy the game is if you imagine all the fun things about Aram, now imagine it actually being in the normal video game. In HOTS, for instance, they got rid of item building, and you can still play a hero in different ways, by the way, with talents. However, they got rid of the item traps, so you don't have to worry about item stats and bullshit like that. You don't have to worry about CS farming, because it's fucking boring as fuck. You still have to manage lanes, but then there's objectives on top of it, so you can't just fucking sit in a lane and turtle all game. Like, you're actually forced to interact with the other team through objectives, and I think it's actually a lot of fucking fun. And of course, there's also Aram in Heroes of the Storm. If you guys are curious about that. Let's see. Asian. Is it because my stream's running right now? Maybe I can't select tags because it's running currently. Yeah, I can't search tags for some reason on my dashboard. Is there just a list of them somewhere? Let's change it to just chatting category because I can. Stream language is at the bottom. It's pretty far down, and the problem, I streamed it for a little bit a couple years ago. One of the reasons you can't stream it, it's a pretty dead game. It's dead as in the viewership directory is dead. In terms of finding games, you can find games even right now. Like when I'm not streaming and I want to play games, I play HOTS. Don't play competitive. Competitive has really long queues and basically no one plays it. Quick Match and Aram are the two things, and co-op, by the way, are the three things that HOTS is going for. So if you play the game, do not play competitive. Don't expect to play competitive. But Quick Match pops all the time. Aram pops all the time. Co-op pops all the time. And if you're trying to learn the game, co-op's a good place to start. Then go to Aram and then play the normal game. But be advised that Aram is completely different from the normal game. Oh, it's working now. I think I couldn't select tags. Yeah, there we go. Black. Oh, black is actually a tag. White. White is not a tag. Caucasian. Caucasian is not a tag. Anglo-Saxon is not a tag. So, can you be a Christian? Oh, you can be a Christian. Okay. Oh, would that be Polish, maybe? Well, I'm not. Polish would be... You can select Poland, but I'm not from Poland, so... My ethnicity is not on Twitch, by the way, guys, so just so you know. Oh, that's funny and just... That's funny and sad. Ooh! Gay? Gay is a thing. LGBT. LBGT is a thing. Let's try heterosexual. Nope. How about straight? Nope. Is there another word for it? I can't. You can be LBGT, but you can't be straight. Yeah, you guys think I'm joking, but yeah, for some strange reason, you can select your sexual orientation unless you're actually straight. So, I don't know what that's about, but you know, whatever. I guess other people are allowed to show off their sexual orientation except for people that are actually straight or white. Funny stuff. You can select trans. Yeah. About... Weird stuff. Hetero is not... Yeah, I said hetero already. That's not a tag. Heterosexual. Nope. Fun stuff. Don't worry about hypocrisy, guys. Don't worry. Just don't worry about that. Don't worry about hypocrisy. It's not a thing. It's one of the things I actually think is very much lacking nowadays is hypocrisy. Like, people pointing it out and that it actually being double standards and that people actually take offense to when people are hypocritical. You don't just get to eat your cake and have it too. Like, it goes both ways. As part of equality is both sides, right? But people don't care about equality anymore. But yeah, HOTS is pretty far down in the directory. Anyways, I was going to say, if you just want to play HOTS, it's actually, the queues are still fine. Like, there's still plenty of people that fucking play the game. However, it's not big on Twitch. This is down here in like 1,000 viewers, maybe. And one of the problems with this is basically if I streamed Heroes of the Storm, I would get stream sniped literally all the fucking time. And I would just fucking hate my life. I get people to watch me, but I literally hate my life while it's happening. Where is it? Our citizen. There it is. No. Like, I could be one of the top streamers here, for what that's worth. I could be one of the top streamers here, and probably get people watching me, and then sub to me, but there would literally be no room for growth, and people, like, literally just jack off on stream sniping me. Basically, like PlanetSide 2. Yeah, I was considering, like, League of Legends, one of the reasons I really played League of Legends was because it was a lot of fun. In terms, I liked how many heroes there were, all the different options of playstyles because of all the different heroes. And then on top of it, like, they have kind of like stories, and they're actually really cool, well-designed heroes, like Overwatch or Blizzard games in general. Like, the heroes felt well fleshed out and different and interesting all on their own. HOTS has the same thing going for it. They don't really make new heroes anymore because Blizzard shut down the development team. There's still a couple developers left, and they do balancing patches on occasion. But, like, they don't even do events anymore for whatever reason. Yeah, this is pretty far down here. But it's still alive, so there's that going for it. But, like, this is probably the furthest down. If you're, like, trying to live on Twitch, like, trying to make a living, like, the furthest down you can maybe go is, like, down here to the 4th level. These are not streamers that stream this game constantly. These are variety streamers. And if there's variety streamers that are propping up the directory, it generally means that there's nothing going for it. Weeb games. Overwatch is still down here. Yeah. I think I could play Apex and get to Predator. That'd be duff. I think eventually when you get up to the highest level, just like back when I played it, when you get up to the higher levels, you basically have to have a pre-made in order to do well. After I watch someone play, it's like one of the least played characters, but after watching someone play Fuse, like if I played Apex, I really have like a hankering to play Fuse. I'm not gonna lie. No one plays him. But I honestly think he could actually be a really good character. Ah, feminine. Why is feminine a tag? Is there masculine as a tag? Oh, there is a masculine tag. What does it mean? What do you... Why would you tag yourself that? I don't know. I guess because I have male qualities? It's kind of funny because this is his and hers, and there's a guy on here too, but they're tagged as feminine. Apex tomorrow? I don't think so. I don't actually plan, like this spurred from basically me wasting a bunch of time watching new games, and then Bendy going, "You should play a different game. I hate Dead by Daylight. I hate it. I hate Dead by Daylight so much because you play it and I don't like it." And then we had to look at options that are available to me as a streamer, and that kind of cuts things down a little bit, doesn't it? But yeah, I don't really have a... Like, I still... Even though I play it all the time, I actually still enjoy playing Dead by Daylight. Like, if I did viewership requests, like killer requests, if I had to play by the Survivor rulebook, if I had to jack off Survivor mains all the time in my stream, I would definitely hate playing Dead by Daylight, but I don't. I don't do either of those three, and that's one of the reasons I still enjoy playing the game. Is because I can play it and do whatever I want in the game and enjoy myself while doing it. I hate it so much, Ben Sam. I hate it. I hate this game. AMA. Just select the tag. Canada. I see. Oh, USA is actually a tag. Dude, if I selected competitive as a tag in Dead by Daylight in the directory, holy shit. Holy shit, is there actually anyone using the competitive tag in the Dead by Daylight directory? I can only imagine. No backseating. I can only imagine what kind of people that would bring into your stream. Fortune telling. I see. Polyamorous is a tag. I guess. Rap. Oh, there's a competitive. What happens if I select competitive? Competitive. Competitive safe space. Those don't go together, do they? Number one and only DVD team in Utah. None of these actually... Oh, I guess there's so many tags that they scroll off the screen. Where's the tunneling and camping tag? I want a tunneling and camping tag. You can select USA as a tag. I feel like I should use that. But I don't think it really means anything because most people on Twitch are from USA. Most streamers on Twitch are from USA. There's a lot of people on Twitch. Family friendly. Play some Nemesis? I'll get right on that. Probably not tonight, but we're going to do that. For sure. There's a Twitch stats site, which pretty much everyone uses. Twitch stats. Okay. It's what most people use for analytics. Competitive, tunneling, and camping. Uh-huh. I mean, I have peak MMR in my title, right? I thought that's supposed to convey what I mean to. Yeah. Average concurrent channels, which actually went down. 2021 was well, 2020 was the year of COVID. Look at that giant boost from COVID right there. And then people thought they could make a living off of it, and then they realized they couldn't, and then they went back to work in 2022. Partners. Where'd they get this stat from? There we go. Totals by month. May. There were 7.2 million active streamers in May. The fuck? I'd say like 99% of the people on Twitch can't support their lives through streaming, by the way. I can't. I can't actually live off Twitch. If you guys didn't know that, I don't make enough money to live on Twitch. I've been streaming on Twitch for 10 years. In August, I will have been streaming on Twitch for 10 years. Unbelievable. Average concurrent viewers, 2.5 million. Active streamers, 7.2 million. This is, by the way, where a lot of people actually look to find out what game to stream. Go to games, you look at the pie, you look at the pie, you look at the distribution in the pie. GTA. By the way, it doesn't look that way from the directory. GTA is, specifically RP, is very good if you're looking to RP in terms of making yourself known. But then people only want to watch you RP, so. .6 viewers per channel. 17.1 viewers per channel. There is almost the same number of live channels in GTA as there is in Grand Theft Auto, and we have half the viewership of Grand Theft Auto. Less than that. Christ, look at that. Average channels 7 days, 1937. Average viewers 7 days, 33,000 compared to 151,000. Very different growth potential here, isn't there? Yeah. The amount of hours watched is 5 times that of Dead by Daylight. Holy shit. Yeah. Just not even remotely the same. Let's look at the Apex real quick here. It's been a while since I looked at this. Average viewers per channel, 17.2. It's... I don't want to compare it to GTA. I want to compare it to Dead by Daylight. Huh! There would be 0.1 more viewers per channel if I streamed Apex compared to Dead by Daylight, guys. There's more active channels in Apex by about 3x. What they actually really need to show you is distribution, but I haven't suggested it to them because that's actually one of the hidden gems of Twitch. You have to look at the distribution of viewership, especially in the top percentiles. So where essentially all the viewership falls and whether or not it's distributed over all the channels. An average won't tell you that. You want more variance, so there's going to be more people in the top, in the lower ends of the channels rather than just in the top end of the directory. If they're all in the top end of the directory, it doesn't matter. Because you as a streamer, if you're a small streamer, will not matter to you because they'll always flock to the top channels. So I'd even say like the lower 50% or maybe even the lower 70% of all channels, and then the average viewership per channel for the lower 70% after you cut out the top 30. Even that's a little bit too much. Maybe the lower 95 percentile. I think that's everyone that matters. It's like everyone else except for the big guys. So they need to look at percentiles here, but they don't do that. Average will only tell you so much. Because this is the most channeled, the people with the most viewership, and the people with the least amount of viewership. Right here. I'd say arguably, even though that there's basically almost the same amount of viewers per channel, there are less people streaming Dead by Daylight, which means you're going to have more visibility in Dead by Daylight than you're going to have in Apex for sure. Unless you're one of the bigger streamers. So. Can't figure everything out with the stats that they have it. How's H1Z1 doing? Oh, no way. No way. Why would you ever suggest that? It's like literally worse than streaming HOTS would be streaming H1Z1. Actually, I think it's doing better than HOTS on Twitch. Oh, is it just called Z1 now? No, I was wrong. There is a total of 8 viewers in Z1 Battle Royale. Yeah. Yeah, Dome, I don't think you can, I'm pretty sure this is worse than PlanetSide 2. Yep. Oh, PlanetSide 2 still has 43 viewers. Good for them. Good for them, PlanetSide 2. And the top streamer on PlanetSide 2 is a VTuber. Uh-huh. So yeah, I mean, Apex, when you get to, so maximum viewership like this would actually start mattering when you're on the top end of the directory. When you're in the top 5%, you want a game with more viewership. But when you're in the lower, you want to have a better distribution of viewership per channel. Which is inferred by people that are willing to watch low-end streamers. And not just people with a shitload of viewers. Like if we go here and look at Dead by Daylight. And you got to chop out like the top 5% like I mentioned, which is these guys, right? And then you're down here to these guys. And if you look, there's a relatively decent distribution of viewership among the channels down here. Like it goes down relatively smoothly. So it goes like this. Instead of just like, whoop, and like that. Pretty good. But it's another saturated directory. A lot of these guys are... like, you can't even list yourself as a killer streamer. Like, you can kind of go through the directory and find killer streamers, right? But almost everyone in this directory is a survivor streamer. Almost everyone is a survivor streamer. And of the killers that play killer, most are just entertaining killers. Like, they don't care about how good they do, and they don't really give a shit. There's only a handful of killers that actually try to win. A robot rat? What is even going on in this stream? This guy has more viewers than me, guys. I've been streaming on Twitch for a decade, and I'm getting beaten by a fucking rat? I'm getting beaten by a rat with tentacle hair. Yeah. It's like a fucking penis head hat or something going on there, too. I don't even know what that is. I think it's supposed to be his tail, only he had to show it off somehow. Yeah, it's furry channel. One of the reasons I wish you could stream to other platforms, I really do. Just stream to them all. And just pick up whatever we can find across the internet. Scavenge. Gay furry VTuber. No, it doesn't say... Oh, I'm LBGT. I guess this implies you're one of the letters, right? But there's also a gay tag, too. You can have your pronouns in your profile now, too. Okay. DBD, for some reason, has a really big LBGT community. I still don't understand that. I think it has something to do with how chill, basically, you can play this game and still be seen as good, which is survivor mains, essentially. Fucking weird. Some women have, like, an obsession with, like, dangerous things, like serial killers, right? And they tend to flock here, too. Hence why there's a dating game now. Evening, Sanjo. Yeah, so we have... Killer. Generally plays Killer. I think this guy does play Killer. Killer. Some of these guys aren't very good, by the way. I mentioned that, though. Killer. Playing a Killer. Killer. I'm identifying this, by the way, based off their icons and what their hands look like, if they have hands. If they're in first person. Killer. Killer. It's like 1 in 10, 1 in 8 are playing Killer right now. It used to be a lot worse. It used to be like 1 in 10, 1 in 15. It does. Umber is a good Killer streamer. Like I said, this is really weird. It's one of the reasons I don't watch Otz, is because he seems to attract really easy survivors, and I don't know why. I still don't know why. Either he intentionally deranks off stream, or BHVR, the other acronym, BHVR has some sort of deal with him, or maybe they just intentionally give him shitty survivors because it makes their game look better than it actually is. Imagine watching Otz and see him going against fucking head-on squads constantly. Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone would enjoy playing this game if they saw that shit. Like the stuff that actual Killer mains go against. Head-on squads and flashlight bully squads and shit like that. Or people that pound the gens in like 3 minutes and leave 4 minutes. Weird shit. I don't know. There's a lot of really weird. There's a really weird underbelly to the Dead by Daylight directory, and you don't really realize it by looking at it. There's a lot of really weird nuances. It's one of the reasons I'm streaming it too. There's a lot of really weird nuances here. You should have a way of selecting what kind of, if you're a survivor or killer main, or play both sides in the directory. That's specifically a Dead by Daylight thing, but it feels like it's actually one of the reasons people look for certain streams is whether or not you're actually playing killer or not. Maybe I need to put, instead of peak MMR, maybe I should put peak killer or something in my stream title. Maybe that's a better idea. Interesting. Villain. Is there a villain tag? Oh. Villain. Nope. Vietnam. Visible disability. St. Vincent. There's not. Lots of cosplay. And you need to be a VTuber, guys. That's the real takeaway. Oh. Did I say furry? There is actually a furry tag. How did I look over that? I don't know. That's funny. I just said furry because it looked like he's a furry inside the stream, but he actually is a furry. I don't know, guys. Okay, so in response to Bendy Boy saying, or excuse me, Bendy Dude, Bendy Ice now. Oh, that's not where I want to go. Better not click on Rich Twitch Anal. Oh, you guys are gonna see it. Oh no, I clicked on it. Oh, Twitch Anal. In response to Bendy Boy, Bendy Ice saying, just play something else. There is only so many games to play. Oh, you said I need a new game. Well, this spawned an hour-long conversation about how there's literally nothing else to stream on Twitch, or very few items that I can actually stream on Twitch. Daisy, this is being propped up specifically by Summit right now. Yeah. Look at that viewership pop off. Done. You're welcome for content. Thank you. Oh my god, would you like to try and date me? Let's do some speed dating, guys. Get you on some Discord. Boop, 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 boop. Dial Bendy Ice up on Discord. Oh yeah, so I can turn you down after pretending I'm interested. Hell yeah. Totally not disingenuous. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to play Dead by Daylight tonight, but we're going to be playing Dead by Daylight tomorrow. Apex, like I mentioned before, guys, I think the two games that I'd actually be interested in playing right now, and this is one of the reasons I've actually hasn't been interested in new games, is because there's just nothing. There's nothing for me. It's like Teamfight Tactics, maybe. This falls off pretty fast. Look how fast you go down to like 10 viewers. 20. Goes down and then drops off like right here. Still a couple hundred viewer streams though. I mean, for the amount of time I spent playing Dead by Daylight, that would at least show up in, I'd probably be pretty well off in Teamfight Tactics. I don't know. I don't know, guys. That, and also the Dead by Daylight community seems to have problems with good killers. Like, if you actually try to win, because the majority of the viewer base never has played killer, which is another one of the weird nuances, is like they see someone tunneling and camping and they just think you're a horrible person for doing it. They think you're a horrible person for doing it. Yeah. Even though you're just trying to win. I know. Okay. Well, I guess I'm out here for tonight, guys. I'm gonna make some dinner or something. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Did not plan on talking for 2 hours, 3 hours, actually. It happens on occasion. But, yeah. Alrighty, guys. I'm out here for this evening, guys. Tomorrow will be Dead by Daylight. If you're new to the stream, you enjoyed the bullshit, you enjoyed the fun, you enjoyed the podcast section, make sure the follow button in the top right-hand corner. You stream every day from evening to late night, GMT-6, 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 to 2 a.m., give or take, depends what's going on in my life, what's happening, etc., etc. Tomorrow will be dibs. Make sure you guys stay safe. Crypto is crashing right now. It looks like it's probably going to go down further than, it's sitting at like 26 right now. They tried to stop it at 25, they being whales, tried to stop it at 25. But I'm pretty sure it's going to fall to probably 22, probably this week. And then we'll get to see if it'll fall below 20,000. If it falls below 20,000, it's probably going down to 10. And that's just the way it goes, so. Alrighty, guys. I'm out here for this evening, guys. It was fun. But, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching my stream as always, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday night, Monday morning. Have a good day, guys.